I'm going to talk about whether you can become a better artist by reading non-fiction books not meant for artists. And I will give an example of something I learned from such a non-fiction book, something that made me a better artist. This video was designed to listen to while drawing. In the meantime, I will show form studies which I drew. I will apply the lessons I learned from Wouter Tulp's amazing Schoolism course on the fundamentals of expressive character design. Courses like this are great because you can draw along with the instructor, and before you know it, you drew for an hour or two as you're tempted to binge watch, and in the end, you drew something and you learned something. I did the form study drawings by using 3D models from the amazing cool new website called the Base Mesh. These models are, as the name suggests, base meshes meant to be enhanced, but I find that they are also perfect as a reference for artists because they are so obviously simplified. I find that when I use more advanced models, like the ones from the Sketchfab website, they tend to be more detailed, but just not detailed enough to give accurate information. And yet, at the same time, they are also too detailed to work as simplified models. They're often simplified incorrectly, in my opinion, if that makes sense. The base mesh models are perfect. I am willing to bet that the maker of the base mesh models didn't consider this use case. I have created viewers for the base mesh models on my website, which you can use in your browser, even on your phone. For the links, see the description. My plan is for this video to be something you can listen to while drawing if you want to, or zone out watching my sketches if you need a break in between the drawing. So, open the links in the description, grab your drawing tools, and while you listen to this video, maybe you can draw along. In my YouTube videos, I am trying slideshows now as they take up less space on my hard disk and they are easier to make as I don't have to shoot video, which means I have more time to draw also. And I would rather that you listened than watched, because how can you draw while you watch a video? I want to try to make videos you can listen to while drawing, and I want to experiment with setting up a podcast also, maybe, since it's about the audio. See how I get distracted away from drawing? Because audio is a whole new rabbit hole I can fall into, writing scripts, voice training, recording good quality audio, creating rooms with great acoustics, editing the audio. All these things are not drawing. They are distracting me from drawing. But maybe my podcast episodes can be fun to listen to while drawing, so I'm trying it. I want to draw more. I find myself distracted by social media and online drama. Social media has its great sides too. There are many things that are amazing and which I would not have discovered without it, and which made me a better artist. I'm reading the book called Good Strategy, Bad Strategy by Richard Rumelt. I haven't finished reading it, but it's a really good book. It's fun in that he sounds like an older, get off my lawn type in the book, but that's just his frustration at having seen so many businesses deploy so many bad strategies so often. Setting a goal and hoping for the best is not a good strategy, at least to him. He outlines what a proper strategy should look like, and you can use it to solve the difficult problems you yourself run into, including, of course, art-related problems. I am applying it now to what I do. I want to make more time to draw, but that is just a goal, and thinking positively will not manifest the desired outcome. Instead, I isolated the problem first. I find it hard to start. This has several reasons. It is hard work, and procrastination is easier, of course. Hard practice itself is often not as much fun, and I'm regularly disappointed with the end result, which makes it even harder to even start. And so I came up with a plan of attack. I removed social media from my mobile devices. I still have my accounts, but I have to fire up my desktop computer to check them out. And I considerably cleaned up the spaces around me and optimized them for art creation. I have a fixed space where I work. I go sit there and put on some audio on my iPad. This may be a YouTube video I can listen to, like this one, or maybe I may decide to listen to a podcast, or I might choose some music to listen to. The iPad also doubles as a screen on which I can put reference images. I'm only listening to the iPad after all. I won't say what I listen to, there's no point. Your taste is probably different, and so you will want to find your own audio to listen to. Maybe you prefer absolute silence or the buzzing sound of a place where people come to drink coffee and to work on a laptop. At my drawing table, I have my drawing tools and nothing else. I can only draw there, and I always draw there, so starting drawing when I sit down there has become a habit, a Pavlovian reaction. Seating myself there triggers the drawing habit. I then just start drawing on cheap scrap paper with a cheap pen, telling myself I am just doodling. That takes away the pressure of having to draw something good, quote unquote. And the thing is, after I fill a sketchbook page with sketches, the page tends to look good after all. Lively sketches are way more pleasing to look at than stiff finished pieces. I sometimes sketch with a ballpoint pen because they are so fun and easy to sketch with, but ballpoint ink tends to fade over time, and since sketchbook pages can look so cool, I want to be able to look at them in many years. So I work mainly with a black fine liner now. This gives me flexibility. I can draw thick and thin lines. The pens are cheap. It's okay if I should lose one. Also, with black ink, you really commit to each line, including the ones that are wrong, quote unquote. This ironically makes me less precious about the drawings. There will be mistakes in them, and that is fine. The sketchbook pages overall will tend to look great anyway. I won't show these pages because I want to be free to experiment. If there is even a hint that I may show these pages to others, I stiffen up, feel resistance to start drawing, and I try to reach for social media then again instead. Me not showing my sketchbook pages to other people keeps the stakes low and makes it easier for me to start drawing. No one will see it. There is another advantage to drawing directly in black ink lines. It is harder because you cannot erase. You have to put all your concentration and attention into each and every line. If you make it even harder on yourself, the other things become easier. If you draw directly in pen a lot, drawing with a pencil and eraser becomes easier. And if you draw from memory with a pen, then drawing from observation with a pen becomes easier. I got this idea from the book The Talent Code, which I may talk about some other time. In that book, the author describes how some soccer players train by playing soccer in a small room. It makes them work really hard on their footwork, and then, when they enter a regular soccer field, they suddenly feel like they have enormous amounts of space around them, and that playing regular soccer has suddenly become much more easier for them. And that is my current approach. My goal is to draw more, but that is just a goal. A goal is not a strategy. A strategy is when you analyze the problem and then formulate a plan on how to solve that problem through a set of plans focused on that specific problem and designed to solve that specific problem. My goal is to draw more. The problem I run into is that I find it hard to start, and my plan of approach is to employ methods that lower the barrier for starting for me. That is what I got from the book Good Strategy, Bad Strategy. A goal is just a goal, analyze the problem, and then formulate a plan of focused, relentless attack on that problem. The videos and podcasts I make may seem like a distraction away from me drawing, but it gives me an artistic purpose. It gives me a reason to draw form studies, which I can show in the video, and to make the final form studies, I have to practice them first on scraps of pieces of paper. And frankly, it is creative too, more so than doom scrolling on social media at least. So, long story short, yes, you as an artist can learn from non-art related books, and often far more than you'd learn while doom scrolling on social media. It's insane, really, isn't it, that we would rather consume that fast food for the brain, that is social media, than feasting on the vast buffet of top quality gourmet food for the brain, that is books. The algorithms are the things that cause problems. The algorithms reward clickbait titles and thumbnail images and drama and using tricks to get people to watch longer and watch more posts. For this text, for example, I created a title for YouTube that will hopefully make people become more curious to learn more, and they click the title, Better Artist Through What? For my newsletter, the article does not have to be that clickbaity. The people who see it already know me and already know before they even open the article if they want to read it. There, I give much more descriptive and much less clickbaity title, Become a Better Artist by Reading Non-Art Related Non-Fiction Books. This article or podcast delivers on both titles, so the former is not really clickbait, but it is telling that you have to use a more seductive approach in the former and that a more informing approach works better in the latter. The former feels wrong, it feels manipulative, as I try to get the audience to click on a link because they are curious about the answer to a question. Better artist through what? But if you don't do it, then people don't open the video. And then what's the point of posting a video, you know? All the successful YouTubers you watch have to do this. Otherwise, you wouldn't watch them. I just happened to talk with someone today who is an editor at a large newspaper in my country. He works on the front page of the newspaper version, but now also assigned to work on the online version of the newspaper. He told me he was shocked at how there was a perverse incentive to create clickbait titles for online versions of the articles. With the paper version, you don't need to do that. Customers already paid for the subscription and they receive the newspaper every day. The Dead Tree version may be worse for our environment, but it's better for the quality of the news reporting. Online, you can see the headlines and perhaps read 2 or 3 articles, but then you hit a paywall. The article titles are designed to pull you past the paywall. They are supposed to do some of the marketing heavy lifting, and this is detrimental to the way information is provided and can, frankly, be detrimental to the quality of the information provided. A great example of this is the blogging site Medium.com, where the algorithm aggressively forces writers to churn out the same types of articles again and again and again and again. When articles also have to do some of the marketing heavy lifting, they are forced to become clickbaity and sensational as opposed to informative. Paying for a subscription does not guarantee that you will have quality information in that case, as the article still needs to do the marketing heavy lifting to pull in other customers, as you can see with Medium.com, or YouTube for that matter. A subscription on YouTube removes the advertisements, but not the sensationalism, the drama, and the heart-tugging cat videos. You still get those even when you're subscribed. In contrast, the website masterclass.com, for example, is an educational video platform, and it is subscription based, just like the Dead Tree version of a newspaper. You already paid for the access. Masterclass doesn't have to do any tricks to get you to pay up anymore. They already have your money. It also has videos, highly instructional ones by the way, very much worth listening to. These videos are a step or two above most of the YouTube videos when it comes to quality of the information presented. And the videos are edited so wonderfully minimalistic. Just a straight calm voice, very little music, no clickbait titles or thumbnail images, no fast-paced editing to keep you dazzled and your eyes glued to the screen, forgetting to unlock your eyes, no calls to action, no please like and subscribe nonsense, just incredible insights from experienced people. Masterclass doesn't have to do all those things you need to do to please the algorithm. They already have your money and they put out great educational videos in return that are wonderful to listen to while, say, drawing. First time I saw Masterclass videos, I was like, oh, you can make binge-watch worthy videos without having to resort to all the bells and whistles. Marshall Vandruff put his amazing Bridgman Bootcamp videos on YouTube for free. It must be one of the top learning resources on the platform. No marketing bells and whistles, and as a consequence, not many people have seen it. The videos have been seen nowhere near as often as the Jaza videos with all the sensational and clickbaity titles and thumbnail images. Take a wild guess as to which of the two channels is wildly more informative than the other. Algorithms reward sensationalism and drama over quality of information. And to bring this full cycle, it is this sensationalism that I am now trying to excise from my life so that I have more time to draw. It is a part of my strategy to plan to tackle the problem of needing more time to draw. An approach I was able to formulate after reading the book Good Strategy, Bad Strategy, and it is making me a better artist for it. I want to avoid marketing in my articles, videos, or podcasts. This may mean that fewer people see it, but is that bad? I am missing people that would rather be distracted by sensationalism than to hear me say, listen, you need to draw. You can listen to my podcasts or videos, but you need to draw. The visuals for my YouTube videos will be designed for that too. I will avoid using distracting visual spectacle from now on. There is enough of that already. It can be seen as a moral question also. Is it okay to trick people into seeing your work? No. And what if you think that the thing you are offering is genuinely useful to people? I do think that what I have to offer is useful to others, but I'm going to try to avoid the trickery part from now on. It just feels wrong. I did a quick foray into short form videos recently, making infamous shorts and reels, but these really only seem to do well if they are designed to be distracting entertainment for the masses. Which is not bad in and of itself, but you should be drawing and not endlessly looking at short form entertainment. And I should be drawing and not endlessly creating short form content. We both lose drawing time with that stuff. Time we could have spent drawing. My plan is for the stuff I put out to remain free, but there is something to be said for getting people to pay for your things. They take it a lot more seriously if they paid for it. After they purchased your things, you don't have to resort to spectacle anymore to get them to take a look. You can leave out the marketing craft and just provide the information. The Schoolism course videos I've seen, like the Wouter Tulp ones I'm watching right now, thankfully also skip marketing. Schoolism is an educational site for artists. They are not paying me to say this, by the way. It is a wonderful resource. It is also subscription based. They already have your money too, so they don't have to waste time marketing to you, and they can just focus on providing quality courses. Their course videos don't have to do any marketing heavy lifting. They dive right into the subject and just end with you longing for more and tempted to binge watch the next lesson. They dive right into the subject and it ends like a chapter in a book would end, almost abruptly, without saying goodbye, without a call to action. It just ends. You feel satisfied and want to dive into the next chapter to keep binge listening.